Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. As always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
We're recording this on the 3rd of March, the most important day of the modern calendar.
I'm not
Ben's
quite.
birthday.
Oh, right, yeah.
Absolutely. Joining the
Happy
40
birthday.
Club. The 40 Club.
He's in the 40 club now.
God damn.
Old bastard.
Well, life begins at 40.
Couldn't
Really?
told you that.
Yeah.
They're a fucking liar.
It's on the
They were clearly still in their 30s.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the front of one of them cards, wasn't it?
Probably. Yes, but anyway, today we're going to have a little bit of a ghost. We're going to have a bit of everything. We've got a smorgasbord of paranormal phenomena coming at you.
And it's local.
And we're going to talk about a very local place to us, the Cannock Chase, which is Britain's most haunted forest. We have got everything. We've got dogmen, we've got UFOs, we've got creepy kids with black eyes, black-eyed kids. Becks.
Sasquatch even?
No, there isn't a Sasquatch.
Oh, I saw mention of a Bigfoot. I've seen mention of a Bigfoot.
You sniffed it out.
Fucking right, I did.
Well, there's a bit of everything, and it's up the road from us, so we might have to have a little field trip there one day.
Something I was going to suggest. I think we should do a proper, and we should do a film investigation on this place, because we could post it up on the YouTube channel, and you can have your first film and even see our ugly mutts.
And maybe some ghosts.
And maybe some ghosts.
And maybe getting seeing Pete, so I could have a Sasquatch to save the group.
And maybe some banger racing. There's a banger racing track there as well. Let's go and look at that as well. Yeah.
Well, alright, well, no. Right, well, first, before I get into that, we'll start with some new material listeners, and we'd like to thank you for listening, first of all, and say that you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse, YouTube at Apocalypse Bull, and we're on most other podcasting platforms, including SoundCloud, as Cutting to the Bull in the PTA. So where shall I start? Vincent in Ohio, Tbilisi in Georgia. I like saying Tbilisi.
Is that how you say it, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's Tbilisi.
Well there then. Telford, our hometown.
Great.
Flushing in New York. Tempe in Arizona. London in the UK. Frankfurt am Main in Germany. Welcome back, seen you before. Bridgeport, Connecticut in the US. Hull in the UK. Cologne in Germany. Sari in the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Welcome back.
Same there. Spring Valley, New York. Krasnodar in the Russian Federation. Still big in Russia.
Telford there again. Telford's up there twice. Unusual.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Telford's there again. Hook in the United Kingdom. Ashburn, Virginia. North Michigan. Guadalajara, Spain. Belfast in the UK. And Dublin, Ireland.
Wow, the Irish have really been killing it this week.
You know, Belfast versus Dublin at the moment.
Ooh.
Dublin was winning. Oh, you don't want to hear that. Oh.
Not that we're trying to stoke up any kind of sectarian violence or anything. just saying, tell a friend, tell them to listen, maybe get some city pride out of it.
All I'm going to say is come at you black and tan.
Oh, for fuck's sake. They did come out and they ran away.
Alan Partridge.
Anywho, let's talk about Britain's most haunted forest. If I do sound a bit drunk, by the way, listen, it's my birthday party tonight, so... You know, I'm very on the San Miguel.
It's his birthday, he can be drunk if he wants to.
Not much different than any other pod, but anyway.
Hey!
If you hadn't noticed, he slurs a little bit more as the pod goes on. And if you can go back to any of the past 300 podcasts, and you'll understand what I'm saying. You get to about the 45-minute mark, and there's definitely more slurring.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing, it's just 4 cans in. It just starts.
Wait, I've had 4 for you got here.
That's what I mean. So another 4 in.
Cannock Chase is a large, densely woodland area which has become known as one of the UK's most active paranormal hotspots. In recent times, there's been reports of werewolves / dogmen. There's a difference. UFOs and ghosts by the local residents. On April 26, 2007, The local Stafford Post newspaper ran the following story that, quote, a rash of sightings of a werewolf-type creature were prowling around the outskirts of Stafford, and they prompted a respected Midlands paranormal group to investigate.
Respected. I love that. As if.
Technically, Mike, if we go out and do a thing on the chase, then we'll be a respected paranormal group.
Who's respecting us?
Ourselves.
Some of the losers.
We respect this West Midlands Ghost Club.
The West Midlands Ghost Club says they have been contacted by a number of shocked residents who saw what they claim to have been a hairy wolf-type creature walking on its hind legs around the German war cemetery just off Camp Road in between Stafford and Cannock. Should point out there's a couple of war cemeteries on the Cannock Chase. It was during the First World War. It was used as a military hospital. All the people didn't survive. So there are war graves as well. So more, you know, it's a weird place. It's got a bit of everything.
And now they've got werewolves pissing on their graves.
Now they've got werewolves. The newspaper continued that Nick Duffy of West Midlands Ghost Club said the stories of werewolf sightings in Chase area was something that he'd encountered before. He was over there on a motorbike and saw what he believed was a large dog. When he got closer, the creature got up on his hind legs and ran away.
On his hind legs?
On the hind legs. The Post quoted Duffy as adding that I spoke to many witnesses and I know when they're putting it on. But what struck me as strange was just the way he told it. I mean, no doubt he was telling the truth. The creature was also apparently spotted by a scout leader, and if you can't trust a scout leader, who can you trust?
Well, it depends, doesn't it? If you go in with the old stereotypical kiddie fiddling one, then no. But if you go in with the scout leader, like the kind of scout leader I had when I was a kid going to clubs and that, he was a proper fucking rugged. He was almost like Bear Grylls of the 80s. He was a proper adventurer, outdoors.
Maybe he
guy,
just didn't
if that
fancy
makes
you.
Sense. No, I really don't think he was a kiddie fiddler. He was one of my friend's dads.
I'm just
He was one of my mates' dads, but he was sound as fuck. He was, and he did get some really cool cub masters, scout masters.
All right, I'll take your word for it. They're not all kiddie fiddlers.
No, but yeah,
There's a lot of good work goes on in the scouting
no,
organisation.
there really is.
I was a scout, a cub.
I was a brownie and a guide.
Oh, no, I done that then. I went once and I thought, this is a bit shit. And
See, I did cubs, did scouts for a little while. Then I went to
I went to join the cadets. It was more fun.
I went to air cadets because I got to shoot a rifle.
I went to army cadets because I had to shoot rifles more.
Yeah,
And I got a cool green uniform, and you got stuck in that crappy blue.
Again,
I got to fly in planes though.
Yeah, but I got to just fire my guns.
again, I went to cadets one day, thought it was shit and gave up.
I'm surprised you're still a Jedi. But then again, you only done 1 day's training of that.
and that involved sitting in his chair.
There's a bit of a theme going on here, isn't there?
I am sensing it, yeah. Anyway, this scout leader, who didn't want to be named, said he saw what he initially believed was a large dog prowling by the bushes, and it was only when he got into his car to drive away he realised something strange about the animal. To quote him, he said it just looked like a huge dog. Then I slammed the door of my car, it reared up on its back legs and ran into the trees. It must have been about 6 to 7 feet tall. I know it sounds absolutely mad, but I know what I saw.
Could it be a bear?
Bear? Not here. I know it's as likely as a fucking werewolf, isn't it?
Dog
Let's
man.
face it.
Dog man.
Or whatever
They
you want
run
to
on
call it.
all fours, don't they, bears?
They can rear up. They
can
don't run on. They don't run on two
They
on the
can't
back
walk
legs.
very well on two
No.
legs.
They don't run, do they?
No,
They can a
can
bit.
walk, but they're not very good.
And you know, only when they're usually lumbering towards you, but to swipe your face off. But they don't run on their back legs.
No.
Someone could have thought they were buying a dog and they bought a bear, and then they realised it was a bear and released it.
Has that happened to you before, Michael?
It sounds like it has.
I've actually got some weird news about it later.
All right. So yeah, in recent years, there's also been a high number of pet disappearances, especially in the area around the German war cemetery. And it's certainly the case the area has been a site of animal, particularly deer mutilations over the past decade.
I think that's one of our hot spots we need to check out then. We need to go to the German war cemetery.
Bring your iron bar so you can shove it in its mouth when it attacks the rest of us.
No problem. And a dildo, for good measures.
You're sharing your own. You're having your own tent, then, mate. I ain't sharing with you.
You will be.
No one told me this was part of the deal.
I thought you were bringing the dildo for the bear.
Nah, it's to warm.
Or the dog, man.
It's to warm Ben up for when he's asleep.
What, am I the bait?
No, you're the little spoon, mate.
I used to have my own tent.
We're going to put you in a gimp suit and tie you to a tree.
Why, again, why me?
Because it's your birthday.
We're not going tonight.
Well, actually, this is your birthday surprise.
All right, grease me up then.
Whenever somebody says something that I can't help but picture the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy.
Oh, I always jump to groundskeeper Willie in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Do you have any grease to see, Doris? Yes. Then grease me up, woman, and he's nips his shirt off.
Grease me up, lassie.
Let's move to a ghost. I'm going to flit in and out. I'm not going to give all the cryptids and all the stuff. I'm going to flit in and out. I'm going to have a ghost. The Lady of the Chase. The mysterious apparition which confronted a local woman on a lonely stretch of road. Linda has come forward to tell us a disturbing ghost story. To quote her, I had only what I can describe as a totally surreal experience while driving across Cannock Chase last year. I don't know how to tell anyone else about this apart from my partner, and it was him that encouraged me to contact you following the reports you made in the paper, she said to the local newspaper. It was about 11:30 p.m. and I decided to shortcut across the chase. As I neared Spring Slade Lodge, I had to brake hard as a person suddenly stood in the road. After Linda recovered from the shock of the near collision, she turned her attention to the figure in front of the car. In my headlights was the form of a tall female, pale grey in colour. She appeared to be naked, but with no visible breasts or genitalia.
It's grey, isn't it?
I'm thinking Slender Man.
Slender woman.
It's bollocks, though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's just made up on the internet. Could be a grey.
Wearing a wig. Trying to be like disguised. I'm picturing something out of South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately I was drawn to her eyes, large hypnotic eyes that totally transfixed me.
It was a grey.
It was a grey. I'm thinking alien reduction here.
That's sounding a lot more likely.
Unable to move a muscle.
Yeah.
Did she lose time?
We need to get in contact with this woman.
I'd rather not. It says a mentalist.
I was aware. Fucking hell, Mike. Off the fence on that one, aren't you? Jumped straight off the fence into the... I was aware I was being mentally examined and there was nothing I could do to prevent this. After a couple of minutes, the figure turned and walked away into the nearby woodland. It was only when she had disappeared that I could move again, Linda said. I accelerated away in panic. She told us she has not been able to drive across Cannock Chase since the incident. I'm not fucking surprised, to be fair. And sometimes, after a dream, I can see a vivid image of the woman's face with those staring eyes.
I think that was a grey.
So do I. Oh, Linda's apparition really is a ghost, or is it possible that what Linda saw was an alien?
Maybe they're making themselves look like ghosts.
Maybe they're the same thing. Maybe it's all those goddamn aliens.
There never was any ghosts, and they're just the aliens.
Maybe.
Sometimes their cloaking devices don't work very well, so they appear see-through slightly.
Oh, I've just figured it out. Like, we don't have like caveman ghosts, do we? We always have people in like Renaissance dress and onwards.
Yeah,
Maybe the odd soldier, the odd Roman. They're seeing Earth because it's so many light years away. They're seeing it at that point in history, popping back.
That's
in
what they're preparing
So that's
for.
that's what they're wearing.
I've got the latest garb and his Roman uniform.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh shit, no one's wearing this.
So in
That's a
about
complete fashion faux pas.
200 years, they'll be coming back in shell suits.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Thinking they're in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm just figuring it all out, guys.
Shell suits and a perm and a tash. Going,
Only if they go to Liverpool. But yeah, I just figured it all out. Well, there we go. I've just solved the entire fucking paranormal and alien quandary in one go.
Not quite.
And on my birthday too. Wow.
Genius.
Fucking hell, San Miguel. Thank you very much.
Wait till he gets on the Stella.
No, I'm not going to go through another 8 cans of San Miguel during the podcast.
Wait till he gets on the ESP.
I'm communicating with the aliens.
Yeah.
I listened to this podcast this week that claimed that if I just sit out there and meditate and pray and try and communicate with the aliens, they will appear.
We saw something on this recently as well.
Stephen Greer.
Yeah. Stephen Greer was a podcast with Stephen Greer. Apparently they come all the time for him. Well, he comes all the time.
For them.
For them. One of the two. Let's go to some UFOs, actually. It has long been popular with UFO enthusiasts, Cannock Chase has. Just earlier this year, the MOD released previously top-secret files revealing the skies over Cannock had been the subject of investigations after reports of strange lights hovering above the town.
For other countries out there, the MOD is the Ministry of Defence, which is basically the armed forces.
Yes, it's all under one umbrella now.
Because I always thought everyone knew what MOD was, but I was talking to an Aussie mate once, talking about when I was working for them at the time, and he was like, who's the MOD? So, yeah, thought I'd just reiterate that.
Fair enough. Valid point.
As if foreign listeners.
Valid point. Between 1988 and the early 90s, a raft of sightings led to the period being known as the Staffordshire Flap. We all love a good UFO.
I like a bit of Staffordshire Flap.
Like the old ladies with the bingo wings, is it?
Yeah, but not under their arms. Like a wizard's sleeve.
We all love a good UFO flap, don't we?
Whistles when she
Remember
runs.
the Washington Flap? Remember the
Yeah.
50s?
No.
You were with us at that point, Pete.
No.
Yeah.
I suppose this month we've had the balloon flap, haven't we?
We have had the balloon flap, the great balloon flap of 2023. I feel a bit left out. We haven't had a balloon.
That we've seen.
If I was the government, I'd have popped a balloon up there and then shot it down just to claim some credit and make it look as though I was doing a good job.
False flag.
There was
As opposed to
something.
flagged it, you're absolutely
We had
right.
them monoliths, didn't we?
Yeah, but there was something.
That was last year.
There was
So
that
last
thing in the
year.
So
sky.
last year.
There was that thing in the sky that was seen in Donington.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was.
the other day.
I don't know, about a month ago.
Yeah, but that looked like some swirling interdimensional portal, not a balloon. We can't shoot one of them down.
No, but it certainly looked fucking strange, whatever it was.
Certainly did.
Well, it could have been over the base in Donington, couldn't it?
Could have
Checking
been.
something out, you know.
Looking at our nuclear weapons stash that's allegedly there.
We haven't got nukes there.
I've heard there's nukes underground there, stored there for them.
Are they? Fuck.
So I've heard.
It's not high security enough there. It really isn't. Like, I've worked on the base. I've worked at nuclear depots as well, like where they do have the nuclear missiles being produced up in Scotland, just up past Faslane. And yeah, the security is fucking mega. Like super mega.
No one knows they're there. You haven't got to guard it as well. It's a
Ooh, double bluff.
double bluff, isn't it?
Right, yeah, there is that, but I don't believe
A lot of that base is underground. Could be nukes, could be UFO parts. Who knows? We had a Staffordshire Flap anyway. The most significant event at that time happened on May the 16th, 1988. Evidence suggests 2 UFOs noticed by air traffic control at Birmingham Airport descended to a height of 1,000 feet. Dozens of witnesses, including police officers, watched in awe as the 2 shapes moved across the sky. After swooping and climbing manoeuvres, the objects vanished in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Barry, what's that? I don't know, it's a UFO.
That's the broadest Brummie accent I've heard.
You'll ever hear.
Ever hear.
Well, I was going for the stereotypical Brummie, obviously.
Now there is a photo, isn't there? The Cannock Chase UFO sighting. Looks like something hovering above the houses.
It looks like someone's throwing a poo.
Frisbee and a cowpat.
Yeah.
But it's a bit blurry and you can't really
It was the
see
1980s though.
Yeah.
But the fact that
But no,
air traffic control
yeah.
saw them, that gives it validity.
Yeah, so it can't have been a poo. Can't have been a frozen
No,
poo,
it
can it?
can't have been a poo.
The closest encounter for Chase folk, however, is shrouded in mystery. Older residents remember military cordons and roadblocks following the crash landing of a craft on the Chase in 1964. The object, tracked by British, Russian and US intelligence, broke into several pieces with some coming down in the woods outside of Cannock. Locals travelling across the chase were told to find other routes, while some witnesses reported seeing a craft being loaded onto a transport truck. Even at the time, there were accusations of a cover-up. The residents were told to forget what they'd seen and it was all a matter of national security.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Mile out of Roswell, in the West Midlands.
Maybe.
Mad.
Bit fishy, innit?
Never heard about that.
No.
Well, no.
But stranger, exactly, you never heard about that. Isn't that just a little bit odd? Let's move on to another ghost. Black-eyed kids, or the black-eyed kid of Cannock Chase. You're familiar with the concept of Becks? Black-eyed kids? They are a phenomena. It's been reported. We had done an episode on them, I'm pretty sure, back in the day.
There's a theory.
You guys weren't here for that one, but...
There's a theory that they were children that succumbed to diphtheria. Because diphtheria, one of the effects was the severe blackening around the eyes and that. So they do. There is a theory that these black-eyed children are children that died, say, like in the 1800s when there was mass outbreaks of diphtheria.
Well, we do have in America the first sightings occurred in the 90s, and they were saying these kids had completely where they should have whites of their eyes, they were just black.
Yeah.
Completely, and just nothing. And they wanted to, and they're knocking on the door. Can we come in? We need to use your telephone. You know, shit like that, trying to get people to let them in the house. And obviously no one ever did, because the second they looked through the old peephole in the door, you've got these children with like purely jet black eyes. You ain't letting them in, are you?
Well, I'm imagining.
Let us in, we need to come in.
Corn with when they got the glowing eyes.
Yeah, that was
Film.
Children of the Corn, wasn't it? With the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Children of the Damned, wasn't it?
Village of the Damned with the blonde hair and the glowing eyes.
Children of the Corn,
Yeah,
I think,
I'm
did the
imagining
same
that,
as well,
with
didn't
black
it?
eyes.
I think Children of the Corn did that kind of thing as well, didn't they?
Village of the Damned, really underrated film, that. Christopher Reeves and Kirstie Alley.
That's a remake, isn't it?
Oh, is that the remake? Oh, that's the only one I've watched of that. Never
I
watched
think
it.
there's a 50s original.
Oh, I never watched that.
No, I've never seen it.
A couple were traumatised. This is from November 22nd, 6th of November 2022.
It's only 4 months ago.
Yeah. Current.
Couple traumatised after terrifying encounter with Cannock Chase's black-eyed child. This is from the Staffordshire Live, to the local paper. The ghostly giggling girl, moved in ways that humans simply cannot move. Been reported by a young couple while camping at Cannock Chase. The couple came to giggling ghostly girl, encircled their tent before moving in ways humans simply can't move to hide behind trees. While some think the sightings are not real, others believe that she is the tormented soul of a young girl who was murdered in the area during the 60s. Yes, there was 2 girls who were murdered on the Cannock Chase in the 1960s.
Yeah, there was a sick fucking paedophile murdering twat, wasn't there? I can't think of his name, but yeah. There have been sightings of her reported in the Staffordshire Forest since the 1980s. They saw her in 2021, the article's from 2022. So Carly and Ben say they saw the ghoul at Birches Valley during the summer of 2021. The coronavirus pandemic had kept the 2 teenagers, whose names have been changed to protect their identity, apart, so they decided to steal a night away together and camp illegally in the middle of the forest. But as he told author Lee Brickley, it was a decision they would soon live to regret. The youngsters, who were 17 at the time, recounted their ordeal to the supernatural investigator, who's got a book out. He writes about the pig man. We'll get to him later. It was around midnight when the teens heard something moving around outside their tent. Thinking it could be a deer, they remained still and quiet, not wishing to spook it. But when they realised they could hear footsteps, they unzipped the tent to take a peek. Both campers heard the unmistakable sound of a small child giggling, so they turned on their torches, lighting up the shadowy woodland to try to find the source. Ben saw it first, running from tree to tree, hiding itself behind the trunks and occasionally peering out towards a couple, before finally stepping out into the clearing in front of them. Kylie said, "I was absolutely terrified. I'd read the stories in the news about the black-eyed child, but it wasn't until the thing stood right in front of me that I could quite believe them. I knew instantly I was dealing with the real thing because it moved in ways humans simply can't move. It was like it could teleport from one place to another when it was moving around and hiding behind the trees." Maybe it was the Sasquatch.
But teleporting in the shape of a small child.
Yeah, it was a baby Sasquatch. Man, bear, pig.
Ben added, I was shining my torch right at her and she just stood there staring at us with her head slightly dipped. That's when the giggling started to get louder and louder. It really sounded like it was coming from all around us. Even though I could see that she was right in front of us, it was really disorientating for a few seconds. She bent down for a moment as if adjusting her shoes, stood back up and ran off down a nearby path through the dense section of trees. The frightened pair huddled together in their tent waiting for the sun to rise.
Could have been a prank.
When they emerged at 7 a.m, they found piles of stones evenly spaced around the perimeter of their tent and strange stick formations hanging from the trees which looked like dream catchers. Slightly shaken, understandably, they packed up and started the 15-minute walk back to Ben's car. Suddenly Carly spotted a small child with black eyes peering at her from behind an oak tree and screamed. Ben suddenly shouted, "Leave us alone!" as the pair ran off towards his vehicle. So yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of creepy. I get the feeling on that tale that the stones and the sticks might be a bit of an embellishment.
Does sound a little bit Blair Witchy.
That's what I mean. But the sighting itself, it's their word against what you believe, isn't it? It says everything. Are they drunk? Are they high? I mean, for God's sake, they're 17, 18, they've been locked up for a year with COVID. They've obviously gone out there to fuck, haven't they? Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
So are they having a few beers? Is their
Could be.
judgment impaired? It's hard to say. We won't know, because they're not going to admit to
I've
it.
never seen any ghosts while I've been drunk or high.
Well, no, neither have I. Oh, yeah, apart from that dead kid in the tree that I saw once.
Oh yeah, apart from that one. That's what you saw a dead kid in a tree, and well, you know what?
I'm high, it's okay.
Alright, it's okay.
Well, no, I shit myself and ran, and then I thought, oh, I probably just hallucinated that, haven't I?
But what if you didn't?
I might not have done. Got no way to prove it, have I?
Is it just the silhouette?
No. Just looked like it was a kid in a hoodie. Someone in a hoodie. You couldn't really see his face, but it might have been someone crouched in the tree. If it was like 2 a.m.
Stranger things have happened.
Where?
Sturchley way.
Ooh, we need to look into that.
But I'm probably putting it down to the fact I was high and tired and
High
yeah,
and tired and high.
and I freaked myself out.
Possibly.
It could have been a black-eyed kid.
It could have been.
Not
Yeah.
to be confused with the Black Eyed Peas.
No, definitely not. But it is very much a case of they're like, hello, may we come in?
No, I genuinely think we need to do a investigation there.
Camping illegally though, that's an
You
issue.
don't have to camp. Why
It's
do we have
not
to
illegal
camp?
if it's only one night.
That's,
It's called wild camping. If you pack up, like, you know, you camp out for the one night and
Oh, I
pack
didn't
up in the
know.
morning. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that either.
What, on private land?
Or down at private land.
There's public land.
You can.
Yeah, it's public land.
You
You
can't
can't chase,
public-
isn't it?
Mm.
Can on public land, can't you, Pete? You're not allowed to on like nature reserves and stuff, can you?
Oh. Alright, let's move on to the next one. See what we got. Beast of Cannock Chase. Because in the British countryside, if you haven't got a beast, you're not part of the local mythos, are you?
Well, Broseley's got a beast, doesn't it?
Do you know when I talk about Big Tracy?
not Tracy.
I've seen a fucking beast in Telford, so I 100% believe all of the stories about the beast of Bodmin Moor, all these beasts, the big cats. They're not
Yeah.
monsters. They're big cats. That's all they are.
I agree, I fully agree.
Black Panthers or
Yeah,
Wakanda forever.
There's cases of wild cats been escaping from zoos and things. Isn't
yeah.
there?
Not just that. In the 70s, you were allowed to own exotic animals.
You were, I've got
And
the,
then in
the article follows on.
76, 78, something like that, they got banned. So the amount of people that just set them fucking free was because people kept them. That was the problem. People didn't give them up, and then when it became the point of
You can't own a lion anymore.
if you get caught, you're fucked. You
Sorry,
have to
Mr.
get rid
Martin,
of
you
it.
can't own that tiger anymore.
Yeah.
Shucks.
But it's 6 months past.
Shucks! That's the 1950s, mate, not the 70s.
But then it's 6 months past the deadline that you were allowed to give up the animals.
So what happened to the animal? Did they just destroy him, or did they
No,
put
they
them to
literally-
zoos, or what?
They either gave them to
Cannock
zoos.
Chase.
They either gave them to zoos, they were destroyed, or they were set free by
Released.
their owners.
What cock big cat? I had a big cat for ages now.
But no, genuine, 100%, wasn't pissed, wasn't anything, so I was driving.
Where were you?
I was driving back from Trenchlock. So picture the EP.
So that's dual carriageway,
Yeah.
a mini motorway.
The Eastern Priory is a 4-lane, 2 lanes one way, 2 lanes the other way, 60 mile an hour. Yeah.
Speedway, built in the
Speedway.
middle of Telford. It's like a fucking big racing track. Trenchlock is at the one end, because that's your traffic light start.
Yeah.
And at the bottom is the island where you've got to stop
Yeah.
for.
But I was coming from that way towards the town centre here. It would have been about 11 o'clock at night. So I was driving along and I saw, probably 200 metres ahead of me, an animal walking across, and I thought, fucking hell, that's a big fox, because in this country we
Across
don't...
the bridge or across the road?
Across the road. The road
Yeah.
I was driving on, the side I was on, it was crossing the path. About 200 metres away is when I saw it first, and I thought, bloody hell, that's a big fox. And then I thought, fuck me, that is a big fox. Because that's all I could think in my head that it would be, walking across
Yeah.
the road.
Oh, a badger.
Yeah, no, because it was too upright.
No.
You could distinctly see the legs. But then as I got a little bit closer, I noticed how big it really fucking was, and the fact that the tail was almost as long as the body. I shit you not. And I could see that it was it looked dark brown because of the colour of the lights. They were like those
Ambery
orange
lights, yeah.
Yeah, those orange kind of street lights. This 10, 12 years ago this was. And yeah, so it looked like a dark brown colour.
What was the tail like?
It was just
As long as
it
the
was
cat.
it was a long fucking.
It wasn't a fox, and they
It
got
wasn't-
bushy tails.
No, well, this is what made me instantly distinct it from a fox. As I stood up, by the time I got to about 100 metres, it was in the bush and it was gone. And I couldn't see it, and because I was on a 60 mile an hour fucking freeway,
Best not to stop and have a look, isn't
I
it?
couldn't just stop and try and.
Would you
see.
want to stop?
I'd have stayed in my car.
You'd have gone and wrestled it.
If I got a lead pipe. No, if I
Always carries a conveniently sized lead pipe for the particular breed of animal he's meant to fight.
Yep. I have a selection ranging from 4 to 12 inches. Not just used for that too.
Goes from Great Dane to fucking bear.
Yep.
He's just got a scale of them.
That's it.
On the inside of his car
But
door.
no, if I'd have been on a small road, just a normal fucking B road or something,
Yeah, you might
I would have more than likely stopped and tried to turn in to see with my headlights
take a picture on your phone.
where it was going, but there's nothing I could do to stop. And I got home, and I remember my mum and dad I was living at my mum and dad's at the time. I reported it on the Big Cat Society website, and around the Telford area, within like about a week or so of day I'd seen it and reported it, there had been about another at least a dozen reports within a very close area to where I'd seen it. So, and then the next day, I popped to my mate Lee's house, knocked on his door, and this is what really reassured it in my mind. As I knocked on his door,
Puma in the living room.
no,
He was feasting on your mate Lee.
not far off though. He had cats, and his cat walked. As he opened the door, his cat walked past like the background kind of thing. But that reassured me because it was exactly the same walking movement.
Gait.
The way it moved.
Gate, yeah.
The way it moved, and that just made. I was like, that is exactly how it was. Definitely a fucking big cat. It just,
Same gait, same jizz.
yeah.
That's it.
Hey?
They move
This
in.
is the outline.
Yeah.
They move in a very,
Silhouette.
yeah, but they also move in a very similar fashion, don't they? Like your small little cat to a fucking puma, they move very similar. So I genuinely saw that, and like
Well,
I said,
I know
there
there's
was sightings
not-
around the
There
area.
has been many
Stays the same.
sightings in Telford.
Lots and lots, hundreds and hundreds of sightings
Yeah.
in Telford.
But the historian claims he's reckoned he's seen a puma twice on Cannock Chase, but probably believes it's dead now. But he says a big cat could survive in the sporting woodlands. There's plenty of deer to live off.
Of course.
And this is what, 15, 20 miles away from us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is what we're trying to get across to the listeners now. This is how local this is to us. So if we've seen them in Telford, they're definitely going to be around the Cannock Chase. it might be the same ones.
It could be.
You know what I mean?
Comes after investigator Lee Brickley says he discovered tracks and claw marks after a decade searching for... Apparently he's looking for a half-man, half-ape beast, but he found panther tracks instead. Lucky him. Lucky him.
No, I could believe it's a panther. There's one been seen near Broseley and Ironbridge as well.
You say I mentioned the Bigfoot earlier. I wasn't going crackers. I told you I'd heard talk of Bigfoot in the Cannock Chase.
Bigfoot's a step far. They can't prove you're Bigfoot. Could be a panther.
Well, you think...
I think
it's not unquestionable that if you survive...
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. If you've got a tiger or a panther that's been released by someone, it could have got out there, it could have bred, well, you know.
Exactly.
Could have found another.
And they are very elusive.
If there's like, 5 people in the West Midlands who own these things, right, and they've released them, where are they going to release them? Where's the biggest stretch of woodland round here? It's Cannock Chase.
Yeah.
So we'll just release them in there.
You can do it without being seen.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's a big fucking woodland, isn't it?
Very true.
Like, you can say the same about like your Nottingham forests, places like that as well.
Yeah, well, these are... Sherwood is a part military training ground now as well, so you can't... So you're more likely to be spotted around there, but on Cannock Chase there's nothing.
No.
It's just a forest and a bit of a wilderness, isn't it?
Lots of deer.
Lots of deer. It did turn into a horror show though at one point, a horror set, as baby dolls were found tied to trees mysteriously. We've had this on Weird News a while back, but I always think that baby dolls tied to trees is creepy as fuck, personally.
But it is just some weirdo doing it.
I know, but it's still creepy as fuck though, isn't it?
Knowing that it gets that reaction from people like yourself.
A Ouija board also located on the floor nearby. It was not known where the dolls had come from or why they'd been left, making the area look like the set of a horror film. Located near to the site of what was the Ministry of Pensions Hospital after the First World War until the mid-1920s. Yeah, so they're left in a weird area. There's dolls by the trees, there's a Ouija board on the floor.
A few sticks laid out like a pentagram.
Yeah. Dolls tied to trees is just creepy.
Yeah.
Dolls are creepy. Look at that! Don't look this up, listener.
That one looks really creepy. The one in the front.
Yeah.
Oh, they all look creepy.
The one in the front looks like him that comes off Total Recall.
Yeah.
Open your mind.
Yeah. It does.
See, look at them eyes staring at you.
You're right, it does.
Open your mind.
But either way, I don't like it, to be quite frankly. If I walked through the woods and found that, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm getting the fuck. What the fuck?
It was his teeth that freaked me out on that front.
It's not unheard of though I don't know whether to say devil worshipping or
Someone fooling around with a Ouija board.
no.
Let's say occultist, is that a better word?
Maybe, yeah.
Have we got a bit of that around here?
Well, this is what I was going to say.
We have actually,
Around these ways?
A lot of places where I've lived, see, I'm one of these lucky people that have lived all over the fucking place, literally. And there's been, everywhere I've lived, there's always been these big forest areas that, like little encampments where there's upside down crosses, like red at the bottom.
Well, sometimes you find like pentagrams burned into forest floors, things like that. Maybe a few candles on some rocks that have clearly been used as an altar.
Shropshire is home to one of the most dangerous
devil Satanist cults
in the world.
I can't remember what they're called now. Shit.
9.
Order of the Nine Angels or
Something
like that.
Came
Yeah,
out of Wales in the 60s, and apparently they've got the most sort of
there's only about 20 or 30 of them.
dangerous beliefs. They reckon there's either between 20 or 2,000, don't they?
Oh, bloody hell.
Worldwide.
Wow.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Order of the Night, yeah. But you always get people doing creepy shit in the woods. I mean, like, the thing is, loads of Wiccans will go out in the woods and their pentagram doesn't mean
as well. Wiccan.
It doesn't mean the same that everyone thinks it is. I mean, the dolls and the Ouija board's a bit weird. Someone's clearly doing something. Basically, some kids looking for a scare in that scenario.
That was what I was trying to come when I was thinking devil worship. I wasn't thinking devil worship. I was thinking that, but it was Wiccan.
Could be someone doing a
like
TikTok video or something.
Yeah, I was thinking amateur sort of.
Or people just purely playing a prank just to freak people out.
Yeah.
Let's stick a Ouija board down there as well. It'll be well funny. This will get on the news if anyone spots it. Guess what? It did.
All right, let's end the show with the Pig Man. of Cannock Chase. When night falls, enter the woods at your peril, for inside lurks something worse than the devil. Avoid at all costs the gathering place where at midnight the pigman roams on the Cannock Chase. So yes, the pigman. Most have heard of Area 51 or Roswell, but few have heard the tale of Cannock Chase. This horrible location has kept the locals in sheer fright for nearly a century. A large structure known as the Pie Green Tower resides inside Cannock Chase, where an abnormal amount of sightings of UFOs, odd lights, werewolves, giant snakes, Bigfoot, black cats, aliens, and many reports of government officials sneaking around the perimeter of the tower and the forest.
This is where we've got to go.
Close to it. The tower was built during the Cold War by the British as a backup communication system, worried about an unexpected EMP attack from the Soviets. But they say there is more than electronics inside those mysterious walls. Another mysterious being said to lurk around the Pie Green Tower. The Pigman.
Can you get in the tower?
It's a good question.
This is what we will find out when we go and do our investigation.
Indeed. According to the local legend, this creepy monster originated when World War II had just recently ended and British and American scientists joined allegiances to conduct a series of peculiar experiments. The tests went too far. Allegedly, they abducted a woman, hypnotised her, and then impregnated her with an artificial human pig DNA seed in an attempt to create a creature to perform their tests on.
During the Cold War. Bollocks.
Just after World War II, when we've got all that Nazi DNA, all that
They didn't even know what
Nazi,
DNA was.
all that Nazi science.
Wasn't the 50s they figured that out? Quicken.
Might be later than that, to be fair.
Well, that's
I
when
don't
it
know.
became known.
Yeah, that's when they mapped the human genome. But if they're like,
No, that was recently. That was like
Oh,
10,
right.
20 years ago.
well, either way, they've probably just got a lot of Nazi research on trying to make human-animal hybrids.
It's like Stalin did with ape men.
Exactly, it's not too far a leap.
Yeah, they're just trying to splice shit, aren't they?
Just as you do. We're losing the war. Quick, make a race of pigmen.
Well, maybe they did. Maybe they did know about DNA then, but they, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't discovered until later.
The Russians did want the ape men, though. Stalin literally ordered the ape men to be created. We did an episode on that as well. Check that out. That's a while back. Yeah, you wanted humansies because they were vicious as hell, strong as hell, and they could survive by eating tree bark if you needed them to.
In theory.
Give them an AK-47 and point to at the enemy.
Well, they never existed, though, did they?
No, they never did it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
We're not compatible. Same as we're not compatible with pigs, or allegedly.
More likely compatible with pigs, though, because our DNA is very, very, very close to theirs. Hence why we use their hearts.
Chimps are more so, aren't they?
No, we've got closer DNA matched, which is
No,
why
we're closest to chimps.
Because the chimps, aren't
Why,
we?
yeah, but why don't they use like chimp hearts and things like that? Why do they use pig hearts for human transplants and
Big
things?
hearts are bigger, I guess.
Is it size thing?
Size thing.
But either way, they're very,
got
They
very
work on
similar
the same
skin.
system.
We've got very similar skin.
Killing
Yeah.
fucking
That's why they
gorillas and shit.
practice tattoos, don't they, on pig hide?
And big monkey, they can't be killing.
And we can't forget crackling.
It's fine to kill a pig, but not a. Well, I suppose they kill
No.
pigs to eat them every day.
There's a lot
anyway,
more. There's a
don't
lot more pigs than there are gorillas.
Yeah.
And they already kill them for food anyway.
Yeah, you know, just taking that heart out straight away and putting it in an ice, aren't you?
They say the only thing you can't eat on a pig is its squeal.
Oh dear God!
Oh no, it's
You know you had the punk round last
that's what
week.
people. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what people. You know, because you can eat everything, can't you?
No, I wouldn't want to eat a trotter.
My granddad used to love pig straws.
I suppose dogs eat ears and that, don't
I know
they?
pig's ears I've eaten. I don't know about trotters.
You buy trotters to eat.
Yeah.
When I used to work in a butcher's, they used to sell them.
Yeah. Well, in this scenario, the scientists, that's the pig man, off our appreciation of the pig as an edible animal,
If we find him, we'll capture him and
we'll
kill him.
fucking the bacon's gonna be epic.
Oh,
Pulled pork.
mate.
Oh, I want these arse cheeks as bacon.
You just want his arse cheeks, more like.
The rump's the best part of a human, therefore the
is
rump's...
it? Yeah.
Apparently so, all the cannibals tell me. that if you're going to eat a human, the buttocks first, then the choicest cut, the rump.
Your cheeks are meant to be quite tasty too. No?
Gives a bite.
Face cheeks. No.
Face cheeks, yeah.
Yeah, well, your butt cheeks meant to be quite the edible steak. I'm taking that as bacon. Anyway, the scientists closely monitored the one for 10 months, and they finally determined the horrible test did not work. Although a year later, they were stunned to discover that her pregnancy was just severely delayed. She bore a baby human who had the snout and the face of a pig.
So it was, what, a 19-month pregnancy?
Yep.
Much later, this creature retreated into the woods and what? A baby man pig?
Yeah.
Who raised it in the first place? It just wandered off.
Just wandered off.
It was raised by the local boars. Because there are wild boar around Cannock Chase. So maybe it was raised by them.
Are there? No idea.
Yeah.
Right, well, either way, yeah, so you got man pig. For decades, people have since then reported seeing a tall man with the head of a pig roaming around the mysterious landscape. Lee Brickley, a local, knows this odd legend well. He first heard about it in his school after the aforementioned rhyme, which I said earlier. After doing at least a decade of research on the pig man, he finally wrote a book which documents many sightings of this humanoid. Now, once an email was sent to him by a local couple that documented their encounter with the pig man, and here it is in its original form. Dear Mr. Brickley, I've seen something odd on Cannock Chase and I think may be of interest to you. In October 1993, while walking around Castle Ring, myself and the wife heard some strange noises coming from the surrounding trees. Thinking it was likely to be a local couple enjoying an illicit liaison, I'm assuming there's a lot of dogging goes on Cannock Chase.
Lots.
Is that why you guys are so interested in Gopi?
Yep.
Okay. We quickly moved away from the sound and headed back in the direction of our car. Upon reaching the steps down to the car park, I happened to turn around and lay my eyes on the strangest creature I've ever seen. This thing was 7 feet tall from the neck down, it like a man, even wearing clothes. But its head was far too big for a human, and it had an elongated face with a snout-like nose. When I pointed it out to my wife, she became terrified, so we started walking more quickly towards our car and got inside. That's when we started to hear this really high-pitched squealing noise that sounded like a pig being killed. That really spooked us. Have you ever come across anything like this before? Regards, John and Anne.
Alright.
See, this is why I think there could be a connection with...
It's just doggers wearing masks, isn't it?
Well...
And a pig mask.
No, but also...
Well, that's an interesting take on it, I'll give you that.
The sightings of the dogman werewolf, yeah?
Yeah.
And the sightings of the pig man, they sound quite similar. If you think from a couple 100 metres away, you see like the silhouette more than anything of a person from 200
I know what you're
metres.
saying, but I'm going to stand up for Pigman rights here. Who's with me? Who wants there to be a pigman?
Well, obviously everyone
Clair?
wants it to be a pig man.
I want there to be a werewolf as well.
I really want there to be a pig man.
Yeah, but if they're going to have a cryptid, why not a pigman? Why has he got to be a dog man like Pete wants to make him out to be?
No, I'm
I think
not
you're
sure
anti-
which
I think
it
you're-
is though.
I think you're pigmanist.
No, this is my point. I'm not sure which it is. It could be a pig man. It
Ah,
could be a
but
werewolf.
what about the squeal of the pig?
Who knows what fucking noise a werewolf actually makes?
I assume it howls.
Assume only makes an ass out of you and me.
I'm aware of that.
And
I'm fully aware of that.
so you should never assume.
I'm also aware of that.
But you know what I mean?
But
We
I'm
don't
just saying,
know
it's
what-
a wolf. We don't know what a wolf makes, don't we?
Yeah, we also know what noise a man makes. You know what I mean?
Is that what noise you'd make if you were a man dog?
Yep.
A dog man.
Okay.
Exactly that.
Right. Well,
No.
that would throw people off.
But you should
And it does sound a bit like a pig being killed, so I see where you're coming from.
But it could be anything, couldn't it? But who knows whether those two cryptids are being mistaken for one or the other. Someone sees this thing with a big head, long snout, biggish,
Yeah,
kind
but
of sticky out ears.
But my counterpoint to that is that a pig snout and a dog snout are very, very different.
yes,
So you
correct.
notice it had a long nose.
But,
the short nose takes that out.
But at 200 metres away, you ain't going to distinct that very well. You ain't. No two ways
Well,
about it. And the human mind is programmed to know what a werewolf looks like, yeah?
Is it?
No, because we've seen it on movies, we've seen it in fucking books from young ages and things like that. We know, in our minds, what a werewolf should look like.
People were seeing the pig man before there was werewolf movies.
My point is, we don't know. No, you see, you never let me get my point across, so I always forget where I'm at.
That's my tactic, it works.
Right, so, they're seeing this fucking thing, it could be a pig man,
right.
but all they're seeing is this
7-foot
tall man with this big, elongated, snouty head, and they're going, it's a werewolf! Because that's what their mind instantly kind of thinks.
Goes to.
Yeah? Because they're not going to think pig man. But then somebody that's maybe seen him a bit closer up has seen the face of a pig and gone, oh my fucking god, it's a pig man. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The person that's seen a pig man, again, might have seen a werewolf and just thought they might have had pig man in their head for whatever reason. Maybe they really like pigs. Who knows? But you know what I mean? They could be the same thing. That's my point.
Dogger in a mask.
They could be the same thing, interpreted differently.
There's no way some woman gave birth to a pig man.
How do you know? Strange
And it
things have
crawled off
happened.
into the forest, raised itself.
Got some clothes. Stole some clothes.
How do we know some sick fucker just didn't shag a pig lots and after a long time it just got pregnant accidentally?
It is Stafford.
Exactly, that's
It's
my
also
point.
scientifically impossible.
Stranger things have happened.
Like that Nazi becoming Pope.
Exactly. Where we were selling the pig man?
I don't know, it's a strange one. I think we should just go and investigate the place, I really do.
I think it's a good idea.
I think we should get some video cameras.
Use our phones, mate, be fine. So everyone does nowadays.
Well, yeah, I guess. I do have a decent video camera, I suppose. I could use that.
And we'll find out the truth.
And we'll go and
Seek
spend the
the
night
truth.
there, and do an all
Spend
night.
the night there.
Do an all
It's
night.
getting a bit bigger, isn't it? I thought we were just going to go and,
Have a look
What do you
around
want
at
to do?
night.
Go and have a look right for 10 minutes and go, oh yeah, there's nothing here. If you're going to do an investigation and try and find a pig man or a fucking werewolf or a
We're doing it in the
alien,
summer then.
or an
Oh,
alien or a ghost or something.
I'm definitely doing it in the summer. I'm not doing it in the fucking middle
Oh
of
god,
winter.
no! You don't want to do it when it's cold.
Alright, when there's a heat
Michelle?
wave, we'll go that weekend. But I'm not sharing a tent with Pete and his dildo.
I'll sleep in the car. I'll be alright.
You sleep in your car. You want to see the pig man now? Well, not until I kill him, cut his head off and dump on your car bonnet.
I don't think we'll see the pig man anyway, to be honest. Hey-ho.
It's not just a pig man though, is it? There's a lot of mysterious shit going
Yeah,
on.
that's what I mean. You've got the black-eyed girl. You've got the fucking the greys. The potential.
That woman
ghosts.
did not see a ghost. She saw a grey in a
I
wig.
think it was a grey. But yeah, you've got the aliens, UFOs,
Bigfoot, possible.
Potential Bigfoot.
There's all sorts of shit there, so it'd be nice to go there because I certainly know the difference between a deer, what noises deer makes, to other creatures. So if you hear other things, you straight away kind of weed out the deer, can't you? And then you have to. Badgers don't make much noise. Foxes, we know what foxes sound like. So you could, if we hear and see things, you could be like, oh, what the fuck was that?
You could whisper to the deer at some point.
It's
See
deer
this there, then?
whispering.
Hey, deer. There's a pig man.
Yeah, we'll do some. I'll do some Dr. Dolittle shit on him.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, man.
Still, Britain's most haunted forest. I think so. There's definitely shit going on in there.
There will be a follow-up episode to this, and it will be a visual one. So keep your eye out for it.
Yeah, be a few months yet though.
Yeah,
Wait till the summer comes round.
we'll let you know.
Space.
Yeah.
Right.
Finish us some fucked up facts.
Fucked up facts.
Fucked up facts.
Alright then. Facts. Fucked up facts. 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 Go on then, Mike.
In,
Go
twen-
on, Mike.
in 2018, Lego admitted they'd made too many bricks.
No, fucking hell. Just think that every single Lego brick is a little bit of dinosaur.
Isn't there like something like
Wow.
I can't remember what the statistic is now.
There's
but
more bricks than people, isn't there, by quite
Yeah.
a large number.
yeah, we could all make a castle. Let's put it that way.
Should we be considering, in the event of an alien invasion, using some kind of weapon that utilises Lego bricks to fire them at maybe a speed faster than light?
Throw them on the floor, make them walk through a dark room, and they'll step on them, and then they'll soon retreat.
Yeah, that's true. What if we put enough of them into
Home Alone it, like Home Alone this shit up.
Painful as fuck, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What if we put enough of them in a giant cannon and fired them like a
launch
huge
them.
shotgun at speeds like close to the speed of light?
Because the plastic will probably just vaporise.
Yeah.
It's worth a go though, isn't it?
Best case scenario, you're shooting molten plastic in their face. Worst case scenario, nothing happens. 'Cause
There
it
you
just
go.
gets
Well, they just
vaporised.
built a massive giant Lego firing cannon.
You could use it for something else though. Put lead balls in it instead.
Why the hell not? Either way, too much Lego. We've got a food shortage, but too much Lego.
Ah, it's fine.
You can have
some
turnip and
sandwiches.
Lego sandwiches.
Yeah, you can make sandwiches out of Lego, and that's it. We can feed the hungry. Send it all to Africa.
We should be making houses out of the.
Yeah,
We should be making fucking houses out of it.
That, do you know what?
Not a bad idea.
You
Houses
could
out of
do that
Lego.
with a bit of fucking glue. It'd take a lot of bricks, but
Well, you just scale it up, wouldn't you?
well, they've done it. They have done it, haven't they? James May did it, didn't he? I think.
I've
in
no idea.
Big Toy Story thing.
No idea.
Yeah, he made a giant Lego house.
Moving on.
Next fact. In 1927, the US developed a plan for invading Canada.
In what year, sorry?
1927.
Yes, it did, because the US and in 1927, the US and the Brits had a bit of a diplomatic tension for some reason. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, there was a little bit of diplomatic tension. The Americans came up with Plan Red to invade Canada, should they have to. I think it was to do with the naval treaty, and the Brits didn't want to give them a lot of ground up on how many ships they should have with certain size guns, etc., etc. And the Yanks were saying we want more, and they're saying no, we have to keep our famous 2-to-1 formula. And anyway, yeah, the Americans came up with a plan to invade Canada, and the Brits came up with a plan to defend it, which is Plan Blue, because we all knew all about it because our intelligence was better.
Ooh.
And we'd have probably just kicked their ass again.
Well, it would have been interesting. The Americans would have got the win because they're on home soil effectively, and we're
Yeah.
supporting a...
Numbers. They have the numbers. Really
You'd have to send the entire Royal Navy into the Atlantic to deal with the US fleet, and whoever won that would win the war at that
Yeah.
point. But it'd be the entire Royal Navy, and they could sail the Pacific Fleet through and take on whatever's left, basically, couldn't they?
Yeah. Good job it didn't happen, really.
Yeah, it is. Although I doubt they had the two ocean navy at that point, Pete. In all fairness, it was 27, a bit early. So yeah,
We might have actually still had the bigger navy by that
we
point.
would have. We'd have had the 2-to-1 still in place at that
Yeah.
point. Twice the ships of the next largest power. That was our thing.
Yeah.
So you got 28 battleships, 25 battleships. We'll have 50.
I like how it changed from 28 to 25.
Fucking too right.
He weren't doing the maths.
quite quick enough for that one.
Damn right. I wanted to sound pop. I wanted to sound good.
Well, we're going to keep all of that in, so you won't.
I don't care. All right. It's my
birthday,
It's
I
my
don't
birthday,
care.
and I'll maths if I want to.
Men are more likely to want a sports car when they feel bad about their penis size.
Is that true?
I don't.
Of course.
I
it's
want
true.
one, but it's nothing to do with my
We all
penis
know,
size.
isn't it?
I want a Aston Martin DB9 because James Bond drives one, the same as I want the DB5.
I don't even drive, so I must be hung like a fucking horse.
You heard it here first, ladies.
Well, that means you get this the bus, which is you. We just gave you a.
I've got micro penis.
You heard it here first, ladies.
Moving on.
No, that's not.
Yeah, let's stick on this one for a little while.
Every
Right.
40 days, a language goes extinct.
What? Every 40 days? Well, Welsh hopefully won't be too far away.
Oh god, I fucking hope so. Nothing against the Welsh, but
That language needs to just hurry up and fuck off.
I know we
though.
tried to eradicate all things of your culture, and yeah, I'm sorry for that. You know, well, actually, I'm not sorry for that. I didn't do it, but
I'm more worried about that poster. 200 pubs in the UK close a week.
You know what? I'm more concerned about that.
Yeah, I'm more
than I am
concerned
concerned
about
about Welsh dropping out of favour.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
often go to the pubs.
I know, yeah.
I know, but still, it's like, but it's, you know what? It's a better option than learning Welsh.
Yeah.
If it's Friday
Not
afternoon,
Welsh.
if it's Friday afternoon, right, and I say to you guys, hey, do you want to spend the afternoon learning Welsh, or do you want to go to the pub? Which one are you going to pick?
Well, I'd say Welsh boil.
By the end of the night,
bring it
we're
on.
speaking Welsh
Bring it
anyway.
on, I got the social anxiety I have.
I want to learn how to do sheep and everything.
That's the Pete staying at home. And me, Mike and Claire go to the pub.
Yeah, I'd like the option of the pub. But I've seen that poster for weeks now. Surely they're all closed.
There's a lot of pubs in the UK, though. And besides, they might
There was.
close, but they might reopen again a few weeks later.
Exactly.
Well, they'll reopen as a restaurant, which will be still serving beer anyway.
That also might be true, but still, it might close for any reason. Then someone will take it on, and I don't know. Either way, we got to that. What was the original fact?
It is sad though.
Every 40 days a language goes extinct.
Yeah, language. That's a weird one.
How did we get onto pubs?
I don't know. Claire and me were both more concerned about the pubs.
I've seen the poster.
But 40 languages a day is an odd one. It's like, well, how many languages tried around are there?
So every 40 days, one language disappears.
Yep.
But I suppose you only have to go to Africa. How many different languages? are
Different
spoken?
tribes, the Amazon.
But then you're into dialects at that point rather than language, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still classed as a language, though, isn't it?
Like accent, dialect, language, I guess that's...
So that's picking hair. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's kind
Might
of
only be a slight difference between two languages, but
yeah.
Yeah.
You only need to go to Liverpool. They speak a fucking different language, for God's sakes. It's still English, but it's a different language.
Newcastle's the worst for me. I can never understand Geordie's.
Yeah,
Northern Irish is the worst for me. Like.
Glaswegian, the
Glasgow,
Glasgow
yeah.
accent.
I know.
Are you serious? How you feed me? I'll be
Yeah.
a monkey. You bastard. And I only said hello then.
You got a valid point there. I have met one Glaswegian guy, but I got used to it over time. Was the Geordie
you
one
do.
I've never... Cause you know when you go on holiday and you always meet fellow Brits, don't you?
Well, you come in from
And you meet different people from different parts of the country. And you realise that you can't fucking understand them. But I've always got used... I can never quite fully understand the Geordie. The rest I gradually get used to. The Geordies I can't do.
I've genuinely never struggled with accents. I can always understand whether it's South African thick really
That's nothing
thick.
like a Geordie.
There's all sorts of different thick accents all over the place, but I've never really struggled to understand.
I just ask them to repeat themselves. What are you going on about?
Speak English, boy!
This one's for you, Pete. Next fact: according to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, it would be legal to kill Bigfoot in Texas as it is an invasive species.
Oh man.
I'm
How
a
do
You
they
Texas.
know? How do they know that it's
Right, I'm
invasive?
going to Texas and I'm fucking banning guns there. I'm going to start a gun banning mission in
You'll get
Texas.
shot within like 3 hours.
Yeah, you really would, wouldn't you? Jesus. No, but I think we should go and protect the Sasquatches.
They're not invasive.
Protect, yeah, why are you shooting Sasquatch? Why are you shooting Sasquatch? Or some people want to because of the money.
Thing is,
Think how much money you get if you bought in a dead Bigfoot?
they don't give a fuck, do they? They'll shoot lions and fucking bears and all sorts, won't they? They don't give a fuck what they shoot, these hunters. So yeah, they're going to definitely try and take out a Bigfoot. It's coming right for us!
Yeah, I know, but
Just as long as they say that, it's alright, innit? They're coming right for us! Or something.
You saw that on a film.
You take it out of South Park.
South Park. It's heading right
One of the very
for
first
us!
episodes, it's coming up for us. And he's like, yeah, but I don't know, man. He'd be a majestic fucking creature, unless it is literally coming right for you.
Majestic.
Oh yeah,
I think
majestic.
they're going to be stanky, sort of.
He'll be
swamp
strolling through the
monsters.
fucking trees, majestic as hell, doing a Bigfoot stroll. Listener, you can't see
Hey,
me, but
they've got dreadlocks. I thought you liked dreadlocks.
They haven't got dreadlocks.
Matted
It's like
hair,
a big
probably.
version of Jamie. Slightly hairier.
Oh, Klingons and all sorts.
oh yeah, you're gonna have Klingons. So
What, in Jamie's hair?
No,
What are you telling the listeners that
backside,
for?
the backside of the bloody, what's it called, of the
Bigfoot.
Sasquatch, yeah? It's not a good look.
The Sam Squanch.
Yeah.
Bless that Sasquatch.
But it's not evasive.
Oh, no. Fucking protect the Bigfoots. Don't shoot them.
Yeah.
Texas, I disagree with you on this.
Yeah, very much so.
Change the law.
And other things too. I disagree with other things too, but I also disagree with you on this.
Yeah.
On the abortion thing, I disagree with you on that too.
Yeah.
Capture a Bigfoot by all fucking means. Subdue it.
And let people have an abortion if they want one too.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Dart a Bigfoot, put it to sleep, capture it, put it on fucking show in a bloody
Yeah, but they
zoo.
don't get out and climb up the Empire State Building.
Are they looking to reverse that Roe versus Wade?
They've already reversed, haven't they, in Texas? It's...
No, are they looking to you know? Put it
I've
back
no
to how
idea,
it
to be
was?
fair. No idea. Any American listeners, let us know about that.
They
I've no
can't.
idea.
They can't.
What do you mean they can't?
Well, it's because they're not going to win. There's more Republican senators than there are. Sorry, not senators. More Republican. What do they call them?
Oh, fuck knows.
Congressman.
Yeah, no, the ones that run the courts.
Judges?
Yeah. That's what we're looking
I was
for.
expecting like a really like a congressman,
Yeah.
like one of them.
That's a judge.
I thought I was going to get with Congressman, to be fair.
Judges.
It seemed the least one you get, you know, the one you weren't going to think of. Jesus, Mike.
Yeah, pretty hard. But yeah,
High on
there's
life,
more Republican
baby.
judges than there are Democrats, so they won't win.
And it'll never reverse back
Not
to
until
how it
there's
was.
more Republican judges die and more Democrat judges get voted in.
Oh.
That's their system.
Wow. Anyway, next hooked up fact, please.
You cannot touch a Japanese giant salamander without a license.
Alright. Fair enough, then I won't.
Right?
I'll
Yeah.
touch a little one there.
You can obsessed with size, you.
I'm just obsessed with touching things.
She is. What's that hole? It's a stinky one, but fuck it.
I'm going to end on this fact. There is a statue of Vietnamese leader Ho Chi Minh in New Haven, Sussex.
No way.
He used to work as a pastry chef on the New Haven Dep ferry.
Awesome. From working as a pastry chef to being dictator of China in one life. That's the ultimate fucking climb, isn't it? Wow.
It's like
Oh, so Ho Chi Minh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. To being Vietnamese guy on unified
Supreme
Vietnam.
leader, whatever.
Or did he die before the end? I can't remember either way. He got North Vietnamese to win a war. And it's America.
Why did he go from that job to that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things going on in
He
between.
obviously made a really fucking good croissant.
He made such a good croissant, he got everyone to turn to communism.
Yeah.
Well, he just went back to his country and goes, oh, I can make these really good croissants.
No, he came over here when people are asking him for a croissant. He sat there thinking, fuck, I should be leading my country here.
Never mind making
And
croissants for you people.
I'm making croissants for you, toffs. Ah, fuck it, I'm going back home.
Birthright.
Didn't he write the little red book?
I don't know.
No,
Some
no.
of the Vietnamese
Never
communists
heard of
carried
it.
those.
Chinese.
Never
No,
heard of
no, was it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the guy,
Mao,
so I
isn't
don't
it?
know.
How do you know?
Chairman Mao.
The only chairman Mao, Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Well, I've heard of Chairman Mao, but I've not heard of...
Ho Chi Minh was the guy that led North Vietnam
Yeah.
to the Vietnam War.
Is this the guy we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really heard of his name
right.
as such.
Neither have I.
Well, I did ever heard of Ho Chi Minh one day, actually.
I can't believe he was working over here and then went back.
Yeah, it was a different time back then.
It's just mad though, isn't it? What drove him to do that? Like I said, like was it he was that pissed off with selling fucking pastries?
Well, Margaret Thatcher invented Mr. Whippy.
Yeah. Osama bin Laden used to go and watch the Arsenal play.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
He came to university in the UK and he used to go and watch the Arsenal.
No way.
Arsenal banned him from the ground after 9/11, obviously.
And what about...
I don't think there was any danger was of her turn up again.
Yeah, but you never know, do you?
And what about Maggie Thatcher and Mrs. Whippy?
She invented Mr. Whippy, yeah. She used to work in an ice cream factory.
Never.
She invented Mr. Whippy and then took milk away from the kids.
How ironic.
How'd you fucking... It doesn't even balance out, does it?
She wants you to buy the ice cream, you see.
She wanted it all for. She wanted it all for her ice cream. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I can't have these dastardly children drinking all of my milk. No. I need it for my whippy. Oh.
Yeah, either way, brilliantly talented ice cream engineer.
Shit at everything else she did, but yeah.
Falklands was a good thing.
I'd say that.
She did a lot for the British forces. Give her that.
Falklands was the right decision.
She's going to get beaten out of office because her economic policies were terrible.
But you know, she made the right decision on the Falklands. Going there and
She
taking
did.
that.
She did good for the forces in like pensions, things like that, and their pay and things and their conditions. So she did a lot for them, but fucked over all.
Oh, the other industry she screwed over.
Coal miners are certainly within the area we live. Margaret Thatcher is not liked because there was a lot of coal mines around Cannock, where the Chase is and that, and it was completely taken to nothing because of her, wasn't it?
We're still living with the effects now. We're still chasing her financial policies and that.
Poll tax.
Trickle down economics.
Reaganomics, neoconservatism, whatever you want to call it. Right.
Biatch.
And on that note, let's end the show. I've been Ben. Thanks so much for listening. Don't do the flavour aid. Don't join the cult.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Hope you all have a nice week. Listening again next time.